we can bring on our next panelist, and that would be Kedma Ough, who's speaker, author of Target Funding, and Rashedia Mayhane, Green Chips Financial Freedom, who I met recently at an event with Opportunity Hub, and Rodney Sampson, the founder, is going to be here in a few minutes. Speaker, author of Target Funding, and Rashedia Mayhane, Green Chips Financial Freedom, who I met recently at an event with Opportunity Hub, and Rodney Sampson, the founder, is going to be here in a few minutes as well. So Kedma and Rashedia, thank you for taking the time to be here. I really appreciate it. This is like the money section, something I know nothing about at all. But Kedma, how are you? How's your day been? And thanks for joining us.
It's fantastic because I'm a part of this wonderful opportunity to support small businesses. So I'm really, really excited.
Awesome. We're glad to have you here. Rashedia, thanks for being here today. How's your day been?
It is amazing, Kedma. I love your yellow. It is amazing. But yes, I have had an amazing time watching, listening in as well to the Survive and Thrive Summit. This is awesome, Raymond. So thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Listen, I want to step back, so I want to get into so much. But to the point, Rashedia, since you complimented Kedma on her yellow, Kedma, tell us what the cape means to you, why we need to know about that. That's special.
Yes, I've been wearing a cape for a number of years. All my capes are customized. It's my uniform, and it's because I truly believe I am a small business superhero, which is really an advocate. I am for the underdog. I am for the small businesses at any level. And I believe that in this time of challenge, you need as many superheroes that have your back, whether it's maneuvering through the PPP, whether it's just giving you the mindset. So I am privileged and honored to just be a part of this community and to continue to serve.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. I'm going to turn the first question in that case to you, Kedma, then we'll have Rashedia dive in as well. And you guys, if you have questions that I should be asking, let me know. You all are financial experts. But I think that one thing I want to ask, and those who have questions about PPP and all that, I'm not going to ask those questions today because I know for sure Kedma has video and a ton of stuff on it that you can find her resources. I'm sure Rashedia is working with her clients on these things as well. But Kedma, really, the one question to ask really is that this is a financial crisis. Things are miserable. Things suck. Many people have lost their business or closing their business. And I know your book, Target Funding, talks about many opportunities for small business. But the question is, during this financial crisis, is there any silver lining, Kedma? Anything that it could be an opportunity, especially financially, for very small businesses?
So I have to say, in every difficult circumstance, there's always a silver lining. So the first thing I would want to do is step back and look at data. I actually did research, and in 2015, there was actually a publication that studied, it was called Marketing After and During a Recession. The publication came from a university in Nigeria, believe it or not, that studied over the course of multiple decades what happened in a recession and how did businesses thrive. Believe it or not, one of the major things is, and I love this sentence, so I'm going to read it.
Please.
During an economic downturn, the economy rewards the aggressive advertiser and penalizes the timid one, which really focuses on this idea that you should be looking at this and being on the offense and really thinking about how can I pivot what's happening? Because a lot of competitors or a lot of people are just holding back. So that's one thing to be paying attention to. The second is, how do you find your resources? So really looking at where that is. And we've talked about PPP, we've talked about EIDL. However, I spend my time looking at all the other money that is hidden or is beneath that information and go after it. And then the third thing I would say is, you've got to take care of your current customers. Your customers are waiting for you, and they're waiting for you to serve them. So you want to go back to your current customer list and see what you can do to support them, even during this very difficult time.
That's powerful. And I hope you guys are tweeting, and sharing this out. Rashedia, similar question to you. Drop science on us. During this time, times are tough. We acknowledge that. We know that. And I keep saying that for those who've had to close their business. This is tough. But talk, Rashedia, to those who are still going forward and doing it. What should we know so that we can maybe thrive a bit better, especially when it's regard to our money and finances, which I know you know so well?
Yes, one quote I've seen over this time was, rock bottom will teach you lessons that mountaintops won't. And that is
Mm.
so true right now. You will be amazed when you are in crisis situations what you are actually capable of doing and what things you find out that you weren't able to do before, skills, talents. And so this is the time for small owners to really reach deep inside. What do you have in house? If you're a one person show like I am personally, then see what skills that you have. I found out that I could be really good in marketing over this time. So you really want to hone in on those skills, make your money stretch during this time. Find out the things that your team members, whether that's one team member to 50, 10 members, whatever that looks like for your organization, find what works best for your team and who you have that you can stretch the finances during this time.
I love that. I just want to take an aside. My buddy Rafi says, Ramon, how come I haven't seen you drink or drink anything in the last 3 hours? Well, that's how we small business owners roll. So what can I say? But thank you, Rafi, for looking out for me. I love that, Rashedia. And I want to dive into that a bit more, talk about low cost and et cetera. What are some things that you see your clients doing or advice you have? People looking to stretch that dollar, people looking to save. Any one or two or three or more tips you're seeing, Rashedia, that we should be, I never thought of that. As we're looking to save or otherwise to just make that dollar go farther. Anything you're seeing out there?
Yes, yes. A lot of my business owners, they laugh at me because the thing I tell them, what are your personal finances? And they're Rashedia, we're talking about business, but a lot of my small business owners, I work with a lot that have been in business at least 5 years and below. I tell them to look over your personal finances to make sure that your home front is okay. It is hard for you to be a creative or to be the business person you need to be if you're thinking about what's going on at home or how am I going to pay my bills or to an extreme of how I'm going to put food on the table for my family. So you want to make sure you're really looking at your personal finances, making sure your emergency savings are in place, that you have that at home. For my biggest bill right now is food. So
Yeah,
as long as I have that bill out of the way, I can
it's good.
really come into my business and make decisions on should I get that new software? Should I invest in this particular service for my business? Because a lot of small business owners that have been in business for less than 5 years, they're using a lot of their personal finance to fund the business. So if you're at that place, really take stock into what your personal finances are and then make decisions for the business on that. A lot of business right now, also, if you are funding your business with your personal finances, I would say it's okay to take a pause. It's okay. Don't feel bad at this time if you need to just take some time to take a pause so that you can come on the other side of this and make things better for your business. Really take some time to just breathe. Just breathe. And that's the biggest advice I've been given to many of my business clients.
But I think, Rashedia, that is so important because I think people may think I have to keep going and going and going and going and scratching and struggling and struggling. But I think that to your point, I think it's comforting to know, no, again, whatever it is, but it's okay to pause and reset. And I think the second thing, this aspect of you see more on the bottom, Damon John's book comes to mind, The Power of Broke. And I know
Yes,
Kedma's book
yes.
out there, which is like a compliment or whatever to it. Target, I have it right here, Kedma. That's how I'm looking right here. I got it on my shelf. Target Funding. So that's a powerful book as well. Kedma, anything that comes to mind for you? And we're looking to, and thank you putting up there. Wow, we have the slide there. Target Funding.
Thank you.
Kedma Ough, the author of that book. Kedma, for you, any low cost things that we should consider as well? We're thinking of saving, stretching that dollar. What comes mind for you?
So I'm going to pivot. I'm going to tell you your money is found in your partners. So who are your partners? You're going to think, Kedma, this is shocking. Credit card companies. I had situations where clients are like, I can't pay my credit cards. I said, you need to call them up, tell them the situation and negotiate a change. I had one client do that and he said, Kedma, I can't believe it. They reduced it to 11% for the next year. Exactly. Now you can play for money. So I say, hit up the credit card. Second, again, I'm all about reverse engineering when we're in a recession because I was born in the Bronx. In the Bronx, you hustle every day, whether there's money or not. And so here's what I would say. You need to align with your competitors. Now, your small business owners are thinking, competitors? Why would I do that? Well, think about it. If you align with your competitors, you can do collaborative advertising. You can work together on a collaborative mission. If you look at different industries, the dairy farmers, they came together as competitors and they started a campaign called Got Milk. Got Milk was competing against all the other dairy, right? Everybody knows Got Milk. Well, what if we played the game and said, hey, got masks? We just stepped it up. So the third thing I would say is pivot. Look, here's what you need to know about recession, because I've been through it. I came from the SBDC, as you know. I worked with 10,000 entrepreneurs. Here's the deal. People going to spend money, but they're going to spend money differently. Now you got to show them why they need to spend money with you. If you can prove that you have something unique that they want, they're going to spend money. Look at the industry change right now. You have people online spending for health opportunities, tutoring for their kids, new opportunities to learn. So if you're in this place and you don't know what to do, start innovating. The money is there. You just got to change the game.
Wow, that's like a tweet storm. Thank you so much, Kedma. And Rashedia, I'm curious from you as well. I want to turn to you. Let's say we're not in this time of crisis, but so two questions for you. One, can you talk to us about what your business is about, if you don't mind? Because I think that what you do for your business and your network and all these things will be appropriate anytime. So I guess first question, we have about 3 minutes or so to go, 2 minutes to go, but I do want to hear what you're doing. I want people to know what you're doing. I think it's important because they should be in touch with you, whether we're in a period of this time or not. Talk about the work that you're doing.
Yes. So with Green Chips Financial Freedom, we are a nonprofit organization, and our goal is to equip middle to low income individuals with the tools to help them succeed financially, live life more abundantly, and create generational wealth. So for too long, quality financial advice has been like a luxury good. It's been a misconception that it's only for the wealthy. And so what we do at Green Chips, we provide the quality service that you would get from a financial advisor that's at Morgan Stanley or at a Charles Schwab, whatever the larger organizations, but we give it to you at a feasible rate. So there's no excuse for you not to have a financial plan for your personal finances and also for your business. And so we are taking the opportunity to give you these resources. We love our small business owners, and we're embracing them right now, and giving them all the tools that we need with our partnerships as well.
And we met Rashedia, of course, at Rodney Sampson's Opportunity Hub, and that's where I got to know you when I was at another online event for, I think it was 10 hours. And I think that many in the Black and Brown communities, that's also lacking. Not that it's not in others, but that's somewhere where it's also very needed more. Could be the wrong word, but I think both of you know what I'm trying to say. Kedma, unpack target funding. I know it's not fair. It's a big book full of information, but I think it's so important because from the interviews I've had today, Rashedia and Kedma, everybody's focused on PPP and other things like this, which are okay. But there are so many other sources of money. So in about 1 minute, 30 seconds, Kedma, just why should we look at target funding, the book you wrote, as a place for inspiration for funding beyond the government?
Yeah, so let's make it really simple. If we think about target funding, we want to look at target marketing. Everybody knows target marketing. What you do is you focus on your particular market. It's the same with target funding. Everything we're referring to with PPP and EIDL, it falls under one category: disaster relief. That's it. But you need to be thinking elsewhere. There's funding for innovation. There's funding if you're a woman. There's funding if you are a minority. There's funding if you're a veteran. So if you want to expand and play the game right, you've got to expand how you think about funding, and you have to niche. So the easiest tool I'm going to tell you right now is I want you to go to Google after this opportunity, and I want you just to inquire, key in something like COVID-19 small business funding in your community, whether it's LA or New York City, and see what comes up. Those kind of funds are not going to be as exposed as the SBA funds, but they're very powerful. Here in Oregon, Prosper Portland came out. They gave 48 hours to put together a grant for $10,000. Could you imagine if you knew about it? You get to apply and you could be a recipient of $10,000 from Prosper Portland. And this is in addition to anything you get from the SBA. So that would be my tip for you, is to really step back and look at where else can I get this money? And how can I use my own knowledge, my own persona, my own demographic to support it?
I love that. Listen, Kedma, author of Target Funding, superwoman, superhero for small businesses and more. Thanks for being with us today. And Rashedia Mayhane of Green Chips Financial Freedom. Thank you for being here today as well. I wish we had hours and hours to talk because, again, as both of you know, finance is a weak area of mine, but I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us on the Survive and Thrive. And guess what? We had over 2,000, I think close to 3,000 people who've registered. So thank you, Rashedia. Thank you, Kedma. Bye-bye.